Okay, so this is the beginning of it. The beginning of the magnum opus of Uche Igbo. Ebonenu Uyonana. This is very important. The secret is that the universe functions the same way the human body functions, and to understand God, one must understand the body. This is very important. The secret of secrets is that the universe functions the same way the human body functions. And to understand God, one must understand the body, which is Ogodo in Alpha Igbo. The body is the temple of the god, Ibachi or Bichi, which is where she dwells and functions. Ibachi is the tree of life, which is the human body, that is the brain, all the way down to the tailbone. That is the tailbone. What the Bible describes as the Jacob's ladder is actually the light that rises within Ibachi, all the way up or down to the head, which is the crown of life, the heaven, which is also corresponding to the tailbone, below, as above, so below. The human bones are composed of around 270 bones. At best, this total decreases to around 260 bones by adulthood. The human brain has the same function as the magnetic field. North and south of the magnetic field, Enunana, the left and the right side of the brain, Omanachi, the sun and the moon. The ancient Igbo knew how the human biological systems were made. I made a mention of this in my last documentary called the Magnum Opus of the Igbo Axis Mundi. I made a mention of this at that documentary. Just like the Kemethians, the ancient Igbo also believed that everything one is looking for in the universe is inside the body, because our body and the universe are one and the same. There is nothing different between us and the universe of light. We are just like the universe of light. The whole universe is covered with light. For us to have a deeper view of the universe of light, we have to look within us. Just like the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Igbo believed that everything one is looking for is within. Ime. The Ime, which is the realm of Elu and Allah, is the root of all things. Ime is the inside of our etheric body. The ancient Igbo knew how the human biological systems were made without using microscopes, and they went ahead to put it on record. The artifacts and proverbs, the magnum opus of the Igbo antiquity, exists in the Igbo language. The Igbo ancestors were not ordinary humans. They were gods and goddesses that were well in tune with the universe of light. Their eyes were transparent. They could see beyond matter. Akọ na Uche is esoterically the light within the mind. Akọ na Uche. Akọ na Uche. Ọkụ na Uche. The enlightening of the mental. Enlightenment. Akọ, sense, which is light, and Uche is your cosmic mind. Uche na abia abia n'isi. Cosmic thoughts does not dwell in the mind. It comes and goes. So to maintain this, one must exercise the mind so that it will create a spark. Your mind is like your car engine. If you don't change your oil, your car will knock engine. Akon Uche opens your third eye, which is Anyanwu, and through the third eye you become Madeteyete, Wanyele, Mukele, infinite force. The Ark of the Covenant is the arch of the human brain. And arch is a dome, the posture of Nut. Nut means sky, the equivalent of the Igbo word for sky, which is Enu. Nut equals Enu. Heaven is actually below the earth, as it was recorded by the ancient Kush Kemet civilization and the ancient Igbo. Heaven is at the core of the cosmos, which is Imana, the womb of the earth. Uche is the beginning and the end of all things in the universe. Uche is the Igbo word for the human mind. Everything in Uche can be found in the universe. Uche esoterically means receiver of light. That is Uchanwu. Uche na-echanwu. The vault of heaven is the arch, the vault of heaven. The vault of heaven is the arch, the dome of the brain. So Kanye just released his new album, the art of his new album, which was quite shocking to me. It literally looking at the Kanye West album cover, Jesus is King, released on October 25th, 2019. The blue color is a representation of the decline of the season as we are in fall, October.
Don't know why it's so blue. The sun's gonna shine on everything you do. The sky's so blue. The sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Don't know why it's so blue. The sun's gonna shine on everything you do. And the sky's so blue. The sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Don't know why it's so blue. The sun's gonna shine on everything.
A feeling of blue. I'm feeling blue. I'm feeling down. Blue. Feeling blue is when you're feeling down, feeling sick, ill. Sedative mode. That is blue. Blue represents decrease, degrade, degenerate, descend. What you are looking at is the arch dome of the human brain, and a circle that is pure white is the pineal intelligence gland representing heaven. Anyako, that is Anyanwu, the heaven. The crescent moon at Leja in Sukkah is a representation of the vault of heaven. The corpus callosum being Omana as Wanyenu. The crescent moon and the sun in the middle is Chi, representing the thalamus as a sun disk of Chi, which is a circle and a dot in the middle. A sacred bond of the Igbo yin yang. Omanachi, Ekenachi, Alele. This is where the Freemasons got the idea for what they call the Royal Arch. The word monarch breaks down as moon arch, as in moon arch. That the monarch is the moon arch. The monarch is the moon arch. The arch, which is the crescent moon, a symbol of the Igbo earth goddess Allah.
Other bones become more visible only when looking inside the skull. The sphenoid bone makes up the anterior base of the cranium. It is a butterfly-shaped bone with a central body and two pair of laterally projecting wings. These wings form portions of the orbit. The body of the sphenoid features a depression known as the sella turcica, which houses the pituitary gland. Located between the orbits, the ethmoid bone makes up a portion of the cranial floor and also the roof of the nasal cavity. An inferior projection, the perpendicular plate of the ethmoid bone, forms part of the nasal septum. The crista galli projects superiorly from the ethmoid bone and serves as the attachment point for the falx cerebri, a dural fold. Extending laterally from the crista galli is the cribriform plate, a perforated area through which the olfactory nerves pass. The two L-shaped palatine bones form the posterior third of the hard palate, part of the nasal cavity, and a portion of the orbit. The small, thin lacrimal bones make up the anterior portion of the medial wall of each orbit. A groove known as the lacrimal groove helps to form the nasolacrimal canal, which contains a duct that allows tears to travel to the nasal cavity. The vomer is an elongated, plow-shaped bone that forms the inferior and posterior part of the nasal septum. The internal and external skull bones articulate precisely, forming an intricate structure perfectly suited to its functions.
Monarch is another word for royalty, which is Eze in Igbo. The Igbo word for butterfly is Uru, Oboba. The Igbo word for the brain is Ovuro, Uburu. Uburu means benefits, reward. That's what Uru means. Uru means benefits, reward, outcome, corresponding to the brain being the receiver of light. Uchangu, the receiver of the infinite light of the mind. The monarch butterfly is Eze Uru Boba. Boba is explaining something that spreads out like the two wings of the butterfly or birds. The monarch butterfly became a symbol of mind control in the project MK Ultra by the CIA. Project MK Ultra or MK Ultra, also called the CIA Mind Control Program, is the code name given to a program of experiments on human subjects that were designed and undertaken by the US Central Intelligence Agency. The butterfly was used because it is shaped like the sphenoid bone. Everything we see with our two eyes passes through the sphenoid bone. You know, thus to control the mind is to control the perception, which is the sphenoid. Thus they used the monarch butterfly as the symbol of mind control. So, you know, the sphenoid is a representation of everything you see with your two eyes. So they used this as a symbol of mind control. So basically, they are blinded. They are in control of the perception of the masses. So they called it mind control. Everything we see with our two eyes passes through the sphenoid bone. So when they become the control of the sphenoid, so they become the control of your mind. Because the things that the mind reads comes from the two eyes, which is where the sphenoid bones are located.
Before the first moment of time, there was noon. Noon, the primordial waters darker than the darkest night, deeper than the deepest abyss, and vaster than all imaginings, lay sleeping. In her silent sleep she dreamed and waited, holding within her depths the hidden potency that would one day make a world. A vaporous mist blew across the dark abyss, an essence searching for substance. The mist gathered into an invisible presence, an imperceptible shape that held within it everything. Earth and sky, male and female, animal, but was none of these. And yet it was complete in itself, a god. The god emerged from the agitated waters like a wide-open eye at the dawning of the world. Dispelling darkness as it rose, it spread its rays from the source of itself, lighting the world around it like a rising sun. Ptah! The god cried, breaking the surface of the waves and spitting water as it emerged. Gulping for air and calling out the world's first sound, the god heard his own voice echo across the waters. Ptah! He chanted a melody that pulsed to a rhythmic beat. This is the ground, the beat of being, he chanted. And with his chant, a hillock of earth appeared beneath him, and upon this mound he rested. And thus was matter born, and the beginnings of form.
Every morning the sun rises from the soul all the way up to the mind, so we are from Nu, Nu, Onu. The word Nu came from the Igbo word Onunu, Onunu, Onu, Onunu. Onu goes up to the sky. So everything starts with the soul, the primordial mother, our heart.
Ptah is an ancient Kush Kemet creator god who existed before all other things, and by his will thought the world into existence. It was first conceived by thought and realized by the word. Ptah conceives the world by the thought of his heart and gives life through the magic of his word. This literally gives us the root where the Westerners derive the word patamen, or the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus derives from the patamen, pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus derives from their names. Their names derive from pata. Petu equals pata, like hypothalamus, like hippo. The hippo equals pata. Pata man, pituitary gland, and hypothalamus are what the ancient Igbo called Obuatu, Obuatuche. The pituitary gland is very important as it takes messages from the brain via a gland called the hypothalamus and uses their messages to produce hormones that affect many parts of the body, including stimulating all the other hormones, producing glands to produce their other hormones. So like the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus are basically like Ato and Nato working together, producing, because like the brain, everything takes place in the brain before it takes place in physical. So when you are in control of your brain, you're basically in control of your life. You're in control of everything to control your brain is to control your life, but for your mind to be controlled is to become a tool. Like government literally means mind control. Government, to govern the mind of the masses. Ptah derives from the Igbo Obuatu, meaning the molder of thoughts, the one that lays the structural plan of the cosmos. That is Ptah, which is Obuatu. If we should get a Westerner to pronounce Obuatu, they will most likely say Patato, which is what they recorded as Ptah or Peter. The name Peter was derived from Ptah. There's no one named Peter that once existed. All the Jesus disciples, they're all fake. They were all created in Greece. The Greeks wrote the New Testament. They're all fictional characters. Every single one of them. They are all fictional characters, including Jesus. They are all a product of astrotheology. That's what they are. The hole at the arch of the brain is called foramen, literal meaning that it is for a man. A man is the Kush Netar of the underworld, whose Igbo equivalent is Ele. Both Amen, whom is Ele, are represented by the evening sun or planet Saturn. All open holes or passage in the human bones are called foramen in anatomy. All bones are full of holes, which is the root word for whole, equals holy, equals Helio, the Greek evening sun god, whose name derives from the Igbo Ele. The sun hole in Igbo land by a crescent moon decorated with a smelted iron slabs. This smelted iron in Igbo land is the oldest in the world, and the local shamans, Dibia, enlightens us that the Igbo sun god, Oshuru, whom is Ele, dwells inside the hole covered with the iron slab by the crescent moon. This place in Leja Sukkah, this place is in Leja and Sukkah. The name Leja is Eleja, meaning that Ele is hidden inside the bottomless pit, which is the core of the cosmos, by the tailbone. The oldest Kush Kemet Netar is Emen. This word have Igbo origins. The Igbo equivalent of Emen is Imana, which means the womb of the earth. As in Ele Binimana, Ele dwells in the womb of the earth, which is the core of the cosmos, the Duat.
Hi and welcome to the Niger Delta, home of 31 million people and one of the 10 most important wetland and marine ecosystems in the world. Shell, along with the Nigerian government, have been extracting oil in this area for decades, making billions of dollars. We want the consumer to know what kind of company is looking after the Niger Delta. Shell believe in values, honesty, integrity and respect for people. Shell also believes in the fundamental importance of trust, openness, teamwork and pride in what we do. Shell believe in principles. All companies have a systematic approach to health, security and environmental management. In order to achieve continuous performance improvement, we continually look for ways to reduce the environmental impact of our operations, products and services. Shell companies aim to be good neighbors by continuously improving the ways in which we contribute, directly or indirectly, to the general well-being of the communities within which we work.
Just from looking at the Sheol, doesn't it look like the back of a human head? In fact, it is the back of a human head. Sheol in the Hebrew Bible is a place of darkness to which all the dead go, both the righteous and the unrighteous, regardless of the moral choices made in life. The Sheol is a representation of the human brain in relation to everything, the natural events on earth. If you are looking at the Sheol image, you will notice that the sun and moon together, they are representing the right and the left side of the brain. This is the Hebrew cosmology, which is nothing but a work of alchemy. They copied this from the Heliopolis cosmology of Nut and Geb, representing the heaven and the earth. The Igbo word for the human head is Ishi. This word also means source or leader, as in Onyishi, depending on the various Igbo dialects. The Igbo word for abyss is Onu, Olu, Ili, Onunu, Olulu. The Hebrews, whom were Greeks, has been still in Igbo cosmology since the time of ancient Canaan, Babel, Cush, and Kemet. We thought the Greeks some, and they stole some. The Hebrew Sheol derives from the Igbo Sheolu, which means source or the abyss or the head of the abyss. Shell, the oil company, got their name from Sheol. Sheol equals Sheol. Shell, the Shell logo looks like the logo of the Sheol. Thus, Ishiolu is also Ishiele. The Shell logo looks just like the shape of the Sheol. The major oil company that sucks the living daylight out of Niger Delta is an oil company called Shell. That is Shell. The Niger Delta is one of the most polluted places on earth. Shell belongs to the Royal Dutch Company. It is British Dutch Oil Gas Company, founded in 1907. This was during the time the capitalist criminals were scrambling Africa. Yeah, it was during that time. The ancient Igbo called the place known today as Niger Delta Akwara, meaning the sun's nest in Alpha, also Oshimiri, meaning the source of the water. They also called it Oshimiri, the source of the water. British renamed the place Niger Delta. A delta is a triangular shape, like the shape of the human tailbone, right by the sacrum, that is Ordo in Igbo, which corresponds to the ancient Kush Kemet word for the realm of Emhan, known as the Duat. This is where the Ishiela is located, right at the tailbone by the sacrum. The supreme god in Yoruba cosmology is Elodumare. This word was concealed of 3 syllables. Ele breaks down as Elodumare, which is Ele Odomiri in Ele Odomiri in Igbo, meaning that Ele dwells at the core of the cosmos. The Igbo decoding of this word is explaining the sacrum and the tailbone as the core of the cosmos, and the sacrum is the last bone in the human body to decay. If you are looking at the planets from a vertical perspective, it looks like the planets are like the planets after Earth are located below the Earth. Like after Earth, which is Allah, in Igbo we get Ikenga. The Igbo Aboriginal name for Ikenga is Ikana, which means the boil of the Earth and the energy of the Earth. In Igbo, Ike, which means energy, also means something that is under Ike. And after Ikenga, we get Mbu, the father of Ikenga. The planet called the gas giants begins with Jupiter, which is known as Mbu. In Igbo, the gas giants are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These 4 planets in Igbo are Mbu, Ele, Urash, and Nono. Gas is found below the earth, Imana, which is where Ele dwells. So Shell digs up oil from its source, which is Ishiele. Thus, the name Shell derives from Ishiele, which is the Sheol, Ishiolu, the source of the abyss, right at the mother's delta, which is a triangular shape from which all life came from. The 10th door, which is the delta, that is the mother's nest, Akwara. This is exactly the reason why the capitalist criminals came to the Bight of Biafra, because they were looking for the true God, whom is Ele, and Ele is the custodian of the gold, oil, and diamond that they dug up from the soil. Thus, it is God, the root word for gold, oil, and diamond, that they came to find. And they found it and became extremely wealthy from stealing the resources of Ele. El. It is Ele that the modern Igbo referred to as Chukwu, the omniscient supreme spirit that dwells below the earth, Imana, whom the Kush Kemet people called Amen, which is also the last word that the Christians say after their prayers. They send their prayers to Amen, the god of the underworld, which is Saturn. The Vesica Pisces is a symbol of the primordial mother of the universe, Nethe, Komosu, Alauku, Omauku, and many others. Komosu is Koromayasu. Koromayasu. That is the sound waves coming from the vocal cords, which is shaped just like the sacred vagina or the sacred phallus hole, known as the pineal glands, which is also shaped like the penile intelligence gland, like the shape of the third eye, which is shaped like the eye of the python. Eke. Eke is a symbol of light and the first element in Igbo cosmology. Eke means creator. Otu ọ dị n'elu ka ọ dị n'ala. The penile intelligence hole is shaped just like the pineal glands hole or vagina opening. We create with both our vocal cords and the holes in our sex organs. Both of them are shaped just like the vesica Pisces. Our eyes and mouth are also shaped like the vesica Pisces, which is the symbol of Nether. The sacred geometry of the vesica Pisces derives from Uri, the ancient Igbo writing system of Igbo women, and Uri came from Awala, nature. So our planet, we are basically made up of Eke, Uri, Afonkwo, everything about us, and we function as primordial beings, for primordial beings of light, and we are basically like primordial beings of light. There's absolutely nothing separate between us and the universe of light. We are the same with the universe. Everything the universe does is what we do. If we are the same with the universe, this means that we are gods. There's nothing separate between us and the God. The God is us and us is God. The skull and bones is really what they are. The skull and bones. They are the skulls and the bones. They go by 322. The skull and bones. They study the skull and bones. That's what they're doing at Yale. They're studying the skull and the bones. There are 33 vertebrae of the human bones. The tailbone is like the shape of a triangle, like the head symbol is a triangle facing down. Also the shape of the spades, like tailbone. You see that's where they derived that from. They derived the shape of the triangle facing upside down from the shape of the tailbone and the sacrum. They're shaped just like the triangle facing down. When the triangle facing down is a symbol of water and earth, that is below the earth, Ishiel, the source of the abyss.